All right, it just started to pour rain, but hopefully you guys can still hear me over the pounding rain outside. So we're looking at another map. This is showing the results of the 2008 presidential election. And we've got dark green for counties which Obama won and the light green for counties which McCain won. And we can see we've got an unhappy face there. And the people are saying that this is not good because color value is not good for showing qualitative data, right? If we have color values, that's indicating some kind of an order difference, right? Where this one is more than the other one, which is not appropriate for these data, which are categorical data, right? You either the county was won by McCain or was won by Obama. Those are categories. And I might actually disagree that this is a problem, right? It depends who you are. If you are someone from Obama's team and you want to make it, seem like it's good that you won these guys, you might use color value to indicate that, hey, the ones that voted for us are more important, more vibrant, more alive. The ones which voted for McCain are less so, right? So this is a case where part of it is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, shifting on to another cartographic design principle is simplicity. And this is a map that I grabbed from the New York Times right after Typhoon Hainan went through the Philippines. And I think this is actually quite a beautiful map. It's very simple, it's very clear, it's very understated, and the message gets across very nicely. This is not a cluttered map. This is a sort of a minimalist map. And it does a very good job of communicating the information that it's meant to. And so, this is just sort of a call for simplicity in your maps. And that's not to say that your map should be simplistic, but if they are simple, that can often lead them a sense of elegance. And that's a lot better than a cluttered map with everything thrown in there, because oftentimes the user doesn't need to know everything. They just need to know these particular key components. When you are trying to simplify your map, because, for example, looking at the left here in simplification, those original lines are kind of wiggly, right? And are kind of hard to see. And depending on the scale of the map, do you really need to see all those details, or are they just making it a little bit too confusing? So we've got simplification on the left and then smoothing on the right. Now, you could well imagine that these actually could be a little bit dangerous, right? So how simplified can a feature be and still be recognized? How much can you smooth a feature without losing its character? So these are questions to be considered and answered based on what is the purpose of the map that you're making. If you're making some kind of a tactical map and it's very important that we understand every single squiggle in the road, you better not be simplifying anything, because by losing that detail, you could put people in harm's way. Okay, but if it is sort of, if the purpose is not for navigation, if it's for something else, well, simplification might make a lot of sense. Another very key important element in designing nice maps is legibility. And this is a map I took from an English website, and I think it does a very nice job of highlighting some decisions which were made to increase legibility of the map. So, for example, the text and features, the colors match, right? So Mansbridge Road, that text is in red. The road symbol is also in red. This Marhill Copse, which is sort of like a park, right? This is, two different shades of green. So these guys match. The decision to use outlines for showing shapes or not, right? There's a decision for that second one that having an outline is not very helpful, because that's actually a feature we want to push into the background. This is, again, thinking about these concepts about what's in the forefront, what's in the background. Simplifying buildings, right? The map would become too difficult to read if we saw every single building. So what they did was they simplified and amalgamated these different buildings and put them into this sort of simplification of the shape. There's a blow up of the text here for Burgess Road. Now, what you can see there is it's very easy to read Burgess Road, and it's because they've added a halo around the text. And this is something that you can add in ArcMap. If they neglected to add that halo, it would actually be quite difficult and cluttered to try to read Burgess Road on top of the buildings, on top of the road itself, and so on. This is an example of a map which is not very legible and not very simple and not very elegant, but is actually very cool, right? Because what they've done is essentially they've taken the names of all, well, you guys can see this map, right? So, you know, this is a design choice was made, and even though it's not very legible, it conveys a certain sense. And I just thought this was a neat example to share with you guys. Okay, let's jump back into talking about some additional ways of displaying data. So if we have quantitative point data, we have points which were collected across the area of interest, and then we've got information associated with those points. Which of these do you think is the most effective way to share this information? And the correct answer does not involve the one at the top, right? So just showing raw numbers is not very effective, okay? The one at the bottom is pretty good, right? If you are with this well and you drink the water, you will be dead. And, you know, that's a very effective message, right? The middle one, it's you can see differences there, but you know, really that bottom one gets it across. What if we've got quantitative line data? So vehicle speeds over posted speed limit. Again, this first one with text, not very helpful. The middle one, okay, but it's really the last one. The contrast is there, and it's very easy to see those differences. And I think I'll stop here for this video, and we'll start the next one talking about good composition.